the corner wall, and the rusty bowl. Yenbai Station was always a cacophony, a crossroads where trains racing north and south carried endless tales of ambition, reunion, and farewell. But for Tom, this place was neither a departure nor an arrival. It was a mental prison, a damp corner wall where he'd locked himself away for 10 solid years. Tom was a shadow, an invisible fragment of the chaotic scene. His threadbare coat and frayed wool cap were his uniform. The only thing that marked him was his rusty aluminum bowl, his constant companion, a stark symbol of surrender to fate. Every morning, as sunlight filtered through the overhang, Tom settled into his familiar spot. His head always hung low, a posture of ingrained self-doubt etched into his bones. He didn't need to look up. He'd accepted the brutal truth. He was born to receive, because he had nothing to give. He believed everyone hurrying past, those in fine clothes dragging sleek leather suitcases, belonged to another world, a world of the worthy. Tom was just life's discarded scrap, where people tossed scraps of pity along with loose change. In his mind, he was a beggar, and that was his sole destiny, nothing more. That afternoon, a figure utterly unlike the Russian crowd stopped right in front of Tom's bowl. It was Mr. Quinn, a man in his 50s, dressed in a meticulously tailored charcoal gray suit, his cuff revealing a quietly gleaming gold watch. He showed no hurry, but his entire presence radiated the aura of someone who commanded time and money. Tom extended his bowl in his weary rote motion. He was braced for a tossed coin or the usual indifferent shoo away. But Mr. Quinn gave no money. He didn't brush him off either. He just stood there staring straight at the bowl, then straight into Tom's downcast eyes. "Have you ever given anything to anyone?" Mr. Quinn asked, his voice low and clear, holding no pity or judgment, startling Tom into looking up. Tom stammered, I'm a beggar. What do I have to give?" Mr. Quinn smiled faintly, a smile almost like a sigh. "Then you have no right to receive either, my friend. I'm a trader. I only deal with people who have value to exchange. If you believe you have nothing, you've priced yourself at zero. I won't give you money because I don't buy pity. I buy value." With that, Mr. Quinn bent down, not placing cash, but dropping a single green mint candy into the empty bowl. "Consider this an investment in a future deal." He patted Tom's shoulder and swiftly boarded the first-class car. Tom stood frozen. The cool mint lay solitary in the rusty aluminum bowl. Mr. Quinn's words cut like a cold blade into the complacency of accepted fate. He felt deeply insulted, but the insult morphed into shame. It wasn't humiliation, it was raw truth. How worthless had he lived for 10 years? People gave him money out of pity, not because he offered value in exchange. If he had nothing to give, why did he deserve to take? That night, Tom curled up, the aluminum bowl upside down beside him, the businessman's question echoing relentlessly in his mind. 2 days passed, and Tom didn't extend the bowl. He sat in his familiar corner, not to beg, but to wrestle with himself. Physical hunger faded against a spiritual starvation. What did he have to give? What was his value? He watched the passers-by closely, noting their actions. They handed money to the news vendor for information. They paid the shoe-shine boy for cleanliness. Everything was an exchange. He, with nothing to trade, was the only one breaking that natural law. On the third day, as sunlight faded, Tom shuffled along the train tracks. He wasn't hunting for gold or cash, he was searching for what Mr. Quinn called value. Suddenly, his eyes locked on something. Amid the rough gravel and filthy coal scraps, a clump of wild immortelle flowers bloomed defiantly. The tiny pinkish purple blooms weren't flashy, but they were astonishingly resilient. They survived the station's indifference, and they were beautiful. Tom knelt, touching the petals. They weren't gold or money, but forgotten beauty, something no one in this frantic station noticed. A spark ignited in his mind, powerful enough to banish despair's darkness. He could give beauty. He carefully picked a handful, wrapping them in an old cloth scrap to keep them moist. He brought them back to his corner, but this time the aluminum bowl was flipped over. The flowers sat beside it instead. The next morning, when a young woman offered him a coin, Tom didn't reach out. He smiled. For the first time in 10 years, self-respect surging, and gently placed an immortelle bloom in her hand. "Thank you," he said, his voice rough from disuse. "This is from me, a touch of color in exchange for your generosity." The woman looked surprised, then beamed brightly. It wasn't a pitying smile, it was one of acceptance and appreciation. In that moment, Tom understood. He'd made his first deal in life. He was no longer a beggar, he was a giver. Things changed fast. With flowers to trade, passers-by's gazes shifted. They no longer looked at Tom with pity, but with curiosity and respect for the small beauty he offered. He learned a rule. When flowers ran out, coins grew scarce, but when the wild bouquets were full, money came with genuine thanks. "He's not paying me," Tom thought. "They're paying for the joy I bring." A week later, fate brought Mr. Quinn back to Yenbai Station. He was waiting for the late train and strolled past the old corner. Tom recognized him instantly. But this time, Tom didn't bow his head or extend the bowl. Tom approached, standing tall. In his hand was a bundle of wild flowers tied with an old ribbon, neat and respectful. "Hello, Mr. Quinn," Tom said, his voice confident, no longer trembling. "I'm not here to beg today." Mr. Quinn looked up, his sharp eyes flashing surprise, then warming into a smile. "Ah, my little trader. Found something to exchange, have you?" Tom nodded, placing the bundle in Mr. Quinn's hand. "I'd like you to accept these flowers. It's a gift to thank you for the lesson on exchange. I've learned even a beggar can give if they change how they see their own value." Mr. Quinn took the immortelle, his eyes full of approval. He pulled out his wallet, placing a large bill in Tom's hand. "You didn't just learn the lesson, you applied it. You're no longer a beggar, Tom. You're a businessman, a trader of joy and beauty. You found your source of value, and now you're trading joy and beauty." Those words struck Tom like thunder. He glanced at the rusty aluminum bowl abandoned in the corner. It represented self-doubt and accepted defeat. Now it felt alien. Tom smiled, his heart light. He grasped success's secret. He'd been a businessman the moment he chose to give something with self-respect. He didn't need to stay here. The decision was instant. He'd leave Yenbai Station, taking the wildflowers and a trader's mindset. Tom didn't hesitate. The next day, he left the rusty aluminum bowl tilted upside down in the corner, a relic of the past. He departed Yenbai with a little cash and pockets full of immortelle seeds, plus a new view of himself. 6 months later, at the bustling Yenbai Station, 2 well-dressed men stepped off separate trains. One was Mr. Quinn, the other was Tom. Tom now wore a simple but clean shirt, his eyes no longer downcast but brimming with confidence and joy. Mr. Quinn barely recognized the young man until Tom approached with a smile. "Hello, Mr. Quinn. Great to see my old partner again." Mr. Quinn squinted, trying to place him, then his eyes widened in amazement. "No way! You're Tom, the beggar from the corner?" Tom laughed heartily. "Yes, it's me, but today, I'm here as the owner of the Immortelle Wildflower Shop chain in 3 provinces. I'm expanding the market." Mr. Quinn gripped Tom's hand tightly, amazement turning to delight. "Unbelievable! What changed you so fast?" Tom glanced around the station, once his prison. "You taught me one of life's greatest truths. We only receive when we give. But more importantly, you helped me realize I was never a beggar. I was always a businessman, a trader of joy and beauty. I was just too afraid to see my own value. Change doesn't come from money or external chances, but from shifting how you see yourself. The two men stood side by side, now equal spiritual partners. They shook hands one last time before boarding trains to their separate futures. Final message: each person's life is shaped not by circumstances, but mindset and self-respect. If you believe you have nothing to give, you'll receive pity. But if you dare to seek and offer your unique value, you'll earn respect and success. See yourself with all your potential, because when your thinking changes, your life changes.